Farmweek is a production of the Mississippi State University Extension Service.
Today on Farm Week, it's the last show of 2012, and we'll have a special feature story edition. See how three Kansas farm brothers became a YouTube sensation when they filmed their own parody of a rock song.
We'll have two Southern gardening segments. Green roofs. These roofs are not only aesthetically pleasing, they can lower energy costs. And see how to create some attractive cool season whimsy for your yard.
Our first story today, though, is about a southeast Mississippi farm family that runs one of the largest commercial vegetable operations in the state. Eubanks Produce of Loosedale runs a wholesale and a U-pick operation with a sharp eye toward food safety.
We maintain that traceability through our inventory system, and when we ship produce to customers, we are able to identify the particular lots that are sold to customers, so that in the event that there is a food recall on any produce that we've sold, we are able to locate that produce that may have been shipped to other customers and recall that as necessary.
Good day, everyone. I'm Leighton Spann. We do wish you a happy new year. A little bit early.
I'm Artis Ford. Welcome to Farm Week. Yeah, a little early, but we're going to go ahead and get it out front. Hard to believe a year has passed.
Seems like only yesterday we were saying goodbye to 2011.
Yeah, it wasn't all that long ago I did the 2011 year in review story. Be doing another 2012 here shortly.
That's right.
Well, Leighton, in today's first story on Farm Week, Farm Week's Amy Taylor reports on a family-owned business that has grown in ways that were unimaginable when it started as a 200-acre farm more than a century ago. Located in Loosedale, Mississippi, Eubanks Produce now manages more than 1,000 acres of hand-picked fruits and vegetables such as tomatoes, strawberries, eggplants, and even broccoli. The fresh produce is shipped around the country, and it's even sold to mega wholesale chains.
If you get the chance to visit Eubanks Produce in South Mississippi, you can't help but be amazed by the story of a small farm that grew big in business. Alan Eubanks says he started the operation on acreage where Pat Eubanks planted row crops 2 generations ago. Today, he says the farming tradition lives on.
My dad, he was the one that got me started in the row cropping, and helped out with the watermelons, and he helped out with all the vegetables early on. And he runs a U-pick now. He's in charge of the U-pick, Charlie's U-pick. And my wife does all the office management, does all the bookkeeping and everything. And the kids all work at the U-pick during the summertime, so it's a real good training ground for them. Everything is hand-picked. We're very labor intensive here, so that is a big component of our overall success of the farm, I guess. Anywhere from planting to harvesting to putting down the stakes.
In addition to family effort on the farm, about 10 full-time workers and 250 seasonal workers have jobs on the farm, from planting to packaging to shipping. As with any business, seeking the right educational tools greatly influence the success of Eubanks Produce. Mississippi State University Extension Service vegetable specialist David Nagel says Eubanks made good use of his education after graduating from MSU in 1992.
Alan Eubanks was a student in one of my first vegetable production classes about 20 years ago, and even then he knew he wanted to grow vegetables for a living. When Alan graduated, he went back home and joined the family business. We had several extension meetings with him. We took Alan to Michigan, we took him to Florida, we took him to California, we took him to Texas, so he could see how the big boys did it.
Nagel says learning from other operations is one of the most effective ways to develop a business. Eubanks says deciding what to grow on the farm depends on market demand.
A lot of it's market driven. You know, we started out just developing local markets, and then we expanded into more retail markets.
Eubanks says he started slowly, planting a couple of acres of tomatoes and peppers, then expanded to harvesting and selling a larger variety of produce. Today, the long list includes bell peppers, cabbage, cantaloupe, cucumbers, eggplant, snap beans, strawberries, sweet corn, sweet onions, tomatoes, watermelon, zucchini, and broccoli. Produce is mainly sold in the southern region of the U.S. and a few locations in the north. Additionally, Eubanks' father, Charlie Eubanks, runs the 100-acre U-Pick operation, which is open for 6 weeks every summer. Alan explains how Charlie's U-Pick operates.
Bring your own bucket, 5-gallon bucket, and this year we were at $9 a bucket. People come pick whatever they want, mix and match. And it's a lot of families come out. Biggest crowd, I think we had about 2,000 cars come through the first opening day last year.
In addition, customers can also purchase pre-picked fruits and vegetables during the U-Pick season. David Nagel says the farm's diversity has been key to its success.
One thing the Eubanks have always done, even before Alan really got into the business, is they were diverse. They would grow several things. Alan produces pretty much all through the year and has crops coming off of about 10.5 months out of the year, so that it's not all resting on one period of time.
Nagel says it is possible to be successful at only growing one crop as long as the farmer's whole income does not depend on that one crop. In addition to variety on the farm, Nagel says it's crucial to learn what people want in both local and large-scale markets.
If you're going to grow vegetables and sell them locally, you have to be very aware of what local people want. Alan is beyond that size. Alan is selling on a regional, if not national basis, and he deals with the buyers from grocery stores who literally tell him what they want. Alan is one who goes out and finds somebody who wants to buy something, and then he grows it for them rather than growing it and then trying to sell it to somebody.
Another essential part of the business plan for Eubanks Produce Farms is using the internet. Janice Eubanks says Facebook is a great way to reach customers.
We use Facebook on our farm to connect with our visitors to our U-Pick operation. We're able to post pictures as the crop grows to get them excited about coming to our farm.
In addition to Facebook, Janice says using a website is a necessity for getting information to customers, such as produce lists, harvesting seasons, and contact information. Janice also says a high priority for Eubanks Produce is to be able to trace produce after it's been shipped.
We maintain that traceability through our inventory system, and when we ship produce to customers, we are able to identify the particular lots that are sold to customers, so that in the event that there is a food recall on any produce that we've sold, we are able to locate that produce that may have been shipped to other customers and recall that as necessary.
Along with providing safe produce for customers, the Eubanks believe in maintaining a safe environment for workers. Employees are educated about operating equipment properly, and work conditions are kept clean and safe. Additionally, Janice says environmental conservation is practiced in packaging the produce.
We can pack our produce in recycled plastic crates. We get those from the vendor, pack the produce after it's been washed, and ship that. It goes directly to the store shelves. The store does not have to put any labor into repacking into other containers.
Janice says this method cuts down on the amount of cardboard needed for packing. Another conservation practice is the use of underground drip irrigation systems to avoid wasting water through runoff. Alan says developing a thriving operation has been a fulfilling experience. However, he says it does come with challenges.
Probably primarily labor issues. There's more and more regulation on labor and just government regulation and across the board on everything. Seems to be a more challenge, bigger challenge these days. Costs us more and more every year.
However, Alan says he and his family are blessed for being successful at operating a business based on strong ethics, integrity, and learning from others.
There's a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of learning curve there, a big learning curve there. It was very challenging, but yeah, we're proud of where we are for sure.
As Eubanks Produce Farms reaches its 20th year in operation, it remains a good example of how a small farm can grow big in business. From Lucedale, Mississippi, I'm Amy Taylor reporting.
You can watch this story on Eubanks Produce again on our Farm Week website, our Facebook page, or YouTube. The website address is farmweek.msucares.com. We'll also have a link to the Eubanks Produce website as well. Now, Leighton, that story aired about a year ago. I saw Alan Eubanks and his wife and his daughter at the Farm to School celebration earlier in Brandon this year. And he said wholesale strawberries this year. Looks like they're going to try to do those in March. But the key is he doesn't grow it until he has a contract, and that's the way you have to do it.
Wow. Well, time now, artists, for our trivia quiz today on Farm Week. Now, many people, of course, know the United States exports a lot of soybeans. The question this week points out how many. Our question is, how much of the U.S. soybean crop is exported? Now, this is for the 2011 crop. Is the answer 33%, 45%, 55%, or 75%? We'll have the answer after today's Southern Gardening segments.
They're called green roofs, and we're not talking about the color, but about the fact that green plants are growing on them. In our first Southern Gardening segment today, Extension horticulturist Dr. Gary Bachman will show us a unique gardening trend on the roof of large buildings.
We've been able to enjoy some exceptional landscapes with Southern gardening. Today we're going to take a look at a green roof, which is a unique above-ground landscape that is actually on a roof. I'm visiting the Armed Forces Retirement Home in Gulfport, where they have 78,000 square feet of green roof, which is also called vegetative roof. Growing plants on a roof is very different than at ground level. The planting media is composed of a material called expanded shale, which is lightweight, and that's important. It's very coarse in texture and only about 3 inches deep. Environmental conditions can be extreme on a roof, both hot and dry, and plant selection is important. Succulent plants have the ability to thrive in these conditions. Sedums are a very popular and diverse group of plants, as they have a variety of colors and textures. The sedums have a creeping growth habit and will intertwine. To add a little height, yellow stalked bulbing is interspersed. The yellow flowers are held on long stems that move with the breeze. The benefits of green roofs are many and include improved building energy efficiency, increased roof membrane longevity, and controlling runoff in urban areas. An added benefit is improved health and well-being. These green roofs at the Armed Forces Retirement Home give the residents the opportunity to have green space in their urban setting. I'm horticulturist Gary Bachman for Southern Gardening.
Our second Southern Gardening segment today concerns changing our minds about the cool season landscape. Do you think that the garden is only enjoyable when summer flowers are blooming? Extension horticulturist Bachman says how to have garden fun in the cool season.
Many times we think the landscape is only fun in the summer when all the plants are blooming, but there's just as much enjoyment to be had in the cooler months. Today I'm at the home of Jane and Ira Lovelace, where Jane has created a unique woodland walk full of surprises. The walk is paved with hand-laid recycled bricks. The moss and lichen gives a feeling of well-worn age to the path. All along the path are hydrangeas and hostas. The neighborhood deer have certainly enjoyed these late-season delicacies. Now is a good time to prune the damaged stems back to make room for next year's growth. The hydrangea flowers will look great in a dried arrangement. Everywhere along the path, Jane has placed interesting art pieces. A rebar stand holds these terracotta pots. They look like they're balancing on each other, ready to tumble at any moment. And have you ever wondered what to do with those broken terracotta pots? Here the shards are laid to rest in a whimsical manner. The bicycles and wagon wheel help to define the boundaries of the path as well as add interest. This old bed springs makes a perfect planter and support for jasmine. Farther down the path, the old push lawnmower leans up against the fence gate where it looks like it was last used. Jane and Ira have certainly used the saying, out with the new and in with the old, for creating interest on their woodland walk. I'm Gary Bachman for Southern Gardening.
Gary says, use your imagination to make your cool season landscape into something enjoyable.
Well, it's time now for the answer to our trivia quiz today on Farm Week. It concerns how much of the U.S. soybean crop is sold outside the United States. The answer is more than half of the 2011 soybean crop was exported, 55%. That's according to the U.S. Census Bureau. 850 million bushels went to China. Another way to put that, 1 out of every 4 rows grown in the U.S. that year went to China.
We're going to pause now for a break on Farm Week. Coming up, we'll have the calendar and one more feature story for you. Some of you consider YouTube one of society's less than outstanding contributions. Well, 3 Kansas farm brothers, however, are using YouTube to get agriculture's message before millions of people.
Committed? Absolutely. People rely on me. I don't take that lightly. Sure, sometimes we get out of sync and things feel forced. That's when the commitment kicks in. You buckle down, hammer it out, and keep it together for everybody involved. So, yeah, I'm completely committed to my marriage. Till death do us part. Commit to your marriage.
Now, before we get back to our last story, let's look at the Farm Week calendar. The 57th Annual Tri-State Soybean Forum takes place in Mississippi early next year. The date is Friday, January 4th. The hours are 8 a.m. to noon. Registration is free and lunch is included. Handling herbicide-resistant weeds, insect control, and marketing the 2013 crop are on the agenda. Well, the 23rd Mississippi-Louisiana Dairy Management Conference is Thursday, January 10th. It will be in its usual location at the Southwest Events Center on Highway 48 East at Tylertown, Mississippi. Hours 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Managing dairy cow lameness, moles and mycotoxins in feeds, federal policies, and 2013 market issues are on the agenda. And the Delta Ag Expo is moving up a week in 2013. It takes place Wednesday and Thursday, January 16th and 17th. The location is the Bolivar County Expo Center in Cleveland. Go to our Farm Week website at farmweek.msucares.com for information for these and other events. Now check out this week's Farm Week Snapshot.
U.S. agriculture often struggles to get its message and point of view before the public. It seems that even the best crafted campaigns don't have the effect they wish. Our last feature story today is about 3 Kansas brothers who put together a music video about their family farm. Well, it's been viewed more than 7 million times on YouTube. How did it happen? Well, Market to Market's Paul Yeager has the report.
The Kansas prairie is well known for its fields of wheat, soybeans, and irrigation rigs. Tucked into the central part of the Sunflower State near Assyria is a farmstead known around the world. Well, the World Wide Web, that is. What began as a tribute to the beauty of the Kansas landscape quickly escalates into a rap parody, as performed by the Peterson brothers, college senior Greg, college freshman Nathan, and high school junior Kendall.
I was at a Sonic and I was with my friends and the song comes on the radio and I'm like, oh hey, it's this stupid song again. And I'm like, I'm gonna change the words and make my friends laugh. And so I changed the words and my friends thought it was funny. And so I was like, maybe I'll make a music video out of that.
When I step to the bar, yeah, this is what I see. All the hungry cattle are staring at me. I got passion.
That springtime idea, inspired by LMFAO's Sexy and I Know It, became the summer sensation, I'm farming and I grow it.
I'm farming and I grow it.
I love being out here in the open. I think there's no better place to live than out here in the country. I love it.
Greg started scripting and scouting locations for his music video. Realizing he was going to need some help, he enlisted the assistance of his 2 brothers to co-star in the project, albeit reluctantly at first.
It took a little more motivation to actually film it and stuff,
because we'd film like after work when we were done, and you know, we'd be tired, and so me and Kendall, he'd have to do a little more convincing, but you know, once we got going, it was a lot of fun.
Crew calls for the aspiring filmmaker sometimes came before sunrise to maximize good light opportunities and workday commitments. The boy's sister, Laura, also played a vital role, running the camera on some of the more memorable shots.
I tell Laura, okay, make sure we're in the shot, or, okay, I want you to pan from left to right. She was kind of so I could be two places at once, and then we just act it out, and we'd take 2 or 3 shots to make sure we had a good one, and it took 3 weeks.
Greg Peterson says the goal was to educate others about what he and his family do on their farm.
We're hoping we'd make it good enough that our Facebook friends would want to watch it. I've got friends from the city who don't know anything about farming.
This is how I roll. Without me, the world be out of control.
The video was posted on Facebook and Twitter, and seemingly overnight, it went viral. By late in the summer, the video had been watched nearly 7 million times.
It's been pretty crazy.
Just kind of weird that they know us, because we feel like normal people still, and we try to act like normal people still, the way everyone's connected. And I think it's important for agriculture to be part of that, because we're really a main part of social life and just life everywhere, and people need to know about it.
I'm farming and I grow it.
Local news outlets helped spread the story. That led to an appearance on Fox News, which flew the entire family to New York City.
New York.
Like Dorothy, the boys realized they weren't in Kansas anymore when they visited Times Square.
It's not like we're just in the middle of Kansas anymore doing our daily stuff. It's almost a little bit bigger and different. So.
When we were in New York for that interview, we had one guy while we were out touring, and he said, "Hey, aren't you guys the ones that are on Fox News this morning?" And that was when we were really just kind of blown away. And that was the only time in New York that someone recognized us, which was okay with us.
There's nothing quite like the days leading up to a wheat harvest in central Kansas.
The Farming and I Grow It video was not the boys' first attempt at educating others about agriculture. Previous videos showcased the family in various farming activity, but it was the use of social media that took these rural landscapes and exposed them to viewers all over the world.
There is a huge misconception among the American consumer about what goes on in agriculture. People don't understand where their food comes from. They don't understand how their food is produced. And videos such as what the Peterson brothers have done do an excellent job of giving the American public just a glimpse, just a small look into the life of a farmer, in this case a Kansas grain farmer and livestock producer. And they've done a wonderful job of exposing themselves to the world and their operation to the world.
Greg, a student at Kansas State University, is majoring in agricultural communications. He's not sure what he was going to do with that degree, but he may help others now learn how to make a viral video.
I think we're as normal as anybody else is, and we're just doing our best like everyone else is.
Greg is interested in music. He's already created his own YouTube channel with his creations.
I worked on that for years, trying to build an audience, and I built, one. I've got ideas. I got a whole list of ideas. That never runs out. It's just you have to take time to do them.
And for a time this summer, handling media requests was getting in the way of the basics, like farming. But the Peterson parents are understanding and at the same time taking note of all the attention given to their family.
We need to keep bringing out good stories rather than people seeing the negative parts of agriculture, and we need to keep promoting all the good and just how hard farmers work to feed the world and all of the good we're doing.
And as they grow it and we eat it, the world learns more about rural America. For Market to Market, I'm Paul Yeager.
I'm farming and I grow it.
You can watch this story again on the Peterson Brothers viral farm video on our website, farmweek.msucares.com. You'll also find Farm Week stories on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll also have a link to the Market to Market website where you can see the story as well as read the script. And there will also be a link to where you can watch the video. Again, farmweek.msucares.com. An Artists of Peterson's Brothers video is now up to some 7,700,000 views. So it has definitely gotten an audience. And an update, they've also put together a Gangnam Style video out this week, in fact, and it's already up to 100,000 views.
It's going to be 200,000 in a week. I know it is. It's just going to grow. Well, we are at the end of Farm Week for this week. On our next show, we'll have 2 more feature stories for you.
The Gaining Ground Sustainability Institute of Mississippi is educating Mississippians on how to get involved in sustainable and low-input agriculture.
You'll also see how Asian carp are invading the Mississippi River and its tributaries. The carp were first brought into Arkansas, but flooding allowed them to escape. They seem to love any moving water. For the rest of the Farm Week crew, I'm Artis Ford.
And I'm Leighton Spann. Thanks for watching. Have a good week.
And a Happy New Year.
That's right.